I get into eval reviews all the time where it's really obvious that the product is not built correctly. And then I just say, stop. It's not worth evaling this. Like, this is a product issue. We need to think about eliciting the right information from the user. A really common way that the model is not the problem is query disambiguation. It's where you build an AI product where the user is asking a question and the LLM doesn't have a chance because the user is asking a very ambiguous question. They're not providing enough context. There's a phenomenon called criteria drift, which is you don't really know what you want until you see it in action. So you can only specify a certain amount up front. You have to react to what is happening. A lot of eval vendors have generic metrics. They'll take those generic metrics off the shelf and just apply it to their product, thinking that it's useful. It's often advertised as useful, but often they're not useful because they're a little bit too generic and they don't really find what's most important in your product. The magic to find what's most important and really do anything with evals is to look at the data. And then you can go through an exercise called error analysis, which is, teasing out patterns from this data, doing a little bit of qualitative analysis alongside your quantitative analysis to just understand like what is there. It's okay to have developers in the loop, obviously, but what you want to do is try to get the domain expert as fast as possible to be doing the error analysis. And what that means in practice is like you want to surface the right tools to the domain expert to remove all the friction from doing that. So like you don't want to just expose raw traces to the domain expert and have them annotate it in a spreadsheet often. You want something nice that just removes all the friction so they can look at lots of traces really fast with all the context they need to understand what happened. The most important part that people should learn is how to look at data. That solves so many problems. It sounds very reductive, like just look at data, but it tends to be the one place where 95% of problems are found and resolved, and clarity is brought to the eval process is by like looking at the data in a certain way. And it takes practice to do that.